What's up out there to all of my fellow gold diggers? This is your girl Rita, also known as the self-proclaimed gold digger. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. I am so glad to have you. But if you are a fellow gold digger, welcome back. Y'all know I love and I appreciate each and every one of you. And now it is time for Tipsy Tuesday. Now, if you are watching this video at this time, first and foremost, I want to say thank you so much because y'all know it is election night, and this is actually a pre-recorded video because your girl is probably going to be in front of the TV screen watching the election results. So I hope everyone got out there and voted. And like I said, if you are watching this now, thank you so much. You are a loyal subscriber, and I really and truly appreciate it. Now, if you're watching the replay, I appreciate y'all too. I hope you have been enjoying my content. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so, and please like and share with a friend. All right, y'all. So since this is pre-recorded, we are not going to be here for a long time, but we are going to be here for a good time, okay? So tonight I am going to be talking about how to avoid overspending this holiday season, because 'tis the season to be debt free. We do not want to get into debt. We don't want to overspend with the holidays right around the corner, okay? So I'm going to be sharing some tips with you of how you can go about doing that. Now, before I get into that, if you are new to Tipsy Tuesday, basically what we do is we take some sips as I share some tips. And I am drinking on water, y'all, because your girl has to go to work. So trying to do this before I head into work on this morning, okay? Even though y'all are watching it this evening. Now, I do have a couple of church announcements that I want to share with you. First and foremost, hopefully, like I mentioned before, you went out there and you voted and exercised your right to vote. Y'all probably already know who I'm in favor of. But the other church announcement I have is I am going to be promoting my Gold Digger shirts because your girl is coming up with a new design. So I am going to try to flush out my current design so that y'all can see some of the new design. So be on the lookout for me advertising the old Gold Digger shirts. And if you have not already gotten you a Gold Digger shirt, make sure you get one soon through my Etsy shop, like I said, which I'll be sharing with y'all later this week. Also coming up this week, your girl is going to be doing a side hustle Saturday, and it's going to be a good one, y'all, because I am going to be talking about mystery shopping, and I haven't talked about that in a long time. So make sure you tune in to Side Hustle Saturday. I haven't decided on the time of when I'm going to do that, but it will be live this Saturday coming up, okay? Also have in the works another video for you guys. This one will be like a recorded video, so it'll just be posted on my YouTube channel for y'all to check out as well, okay? All right, so that concludes your church announcements. Let's go ahead and get into tonight's topic of how we can avoid overspending this holiday season. All right. So, and I'm sticking to my notes, y'all, because your girl got to go to work. So y'all know the holiday time is one of the biggest times where you can get into a lot of debt just from overspending, trying to buy gifts for people, traveling, doing different things. And sometimes we overspend because some people equate the gift with how much they love or care for someone. So we tend to overspend for those reasons. Or sometimes we might overspend because if we haven't spent time with someone or we haven't seen someone, we're trying to buy them a nice gift to kind of make up for the time that was lost where we didn't spend with them. Or we could just be kind of trying to spend to say that, like, we ballin', like we got it like that and we can buy gifts or whatever. Whatever your reason is for spending, you don't want to overspend. Oftentimes, though, we tend to overspend because we are just like stressed out and overwhelmed during the holiday season, and we are not keeping track of what we are actually spending money on. So I don't want y'all to do that this holiday season. I don't want y'all to be spending and buying when you're stressed or for ulterior reasons that at the end of the day probably don't, I won't say they don't mean a whole lot, but it's not the main reason you should be buying something for someone. Usually if I buy a gift for someone, it's because I genuinely want to give the person something, and I do not at all feel obligated to give someone a gift just because they gave me a gift, or so to speak. If I don't have it in my budget and I wasn't planning on giving them a gift, them giving me a gift does not compel me to necessarily want to give them a gift. I'm thankful, I'm grateful, but I can express my gratitude in other ways without me having to spend money to show them how much I care and I appreciate that they thought enough of me to give a gift. So I think sometimes that's what we get caught up with, because so-and-so bought us a gift, now we got to turn around and buy them a gift. No, girl, child, that went out the window for me a long time ago when I realized I have financial goals that I am trying to reach, and I have to be strategic and stick to my plan so that it doesn't get derailed. And I don't want y'all to get derailed this holiday season and get into debt by trying to spend money on people, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get into the tips for how you can prevent overspending this holiday season. It is going to be 15 tips, excuse me, tips that I'm sharing with y'all. Let me take a sip. All right, y'all. So the first tip that I have to help you prevent overspending this holiday season is to create a budget, okay? Now, I know some of you might be saying, well, sis, I already know that I need to create a budget. I have $500 set aside that I'm using to spend on gifts for friends and family, and that is my budget. And I'm going to say that is great, that is wonderful, but this is also where we run into some problems, because if we set a budget, sometimes we have a gift-giving budget, but we don't take these other things that I'm about to tell you into consideration. So we don't create a budget. We create a budget for gifts, but oftentimes we don't always create a budget for food. And what I mean by food is, like, if you are going to be hosting a Christmas party or some kind of holiday party or whatever, or just buying different stuff around this time of the year, or baking certain things, baking cookies, baking cakes, we don't always allow for that in our regular grocery budget to account for those things. Also, too, we don't always account for us going out to eat. So there's different gatherings, get-togethers, meetups with friends, co-workers, things of that nature, where you may go out to eat, and you haven't factored that into your budget of, oh, I'm going to be going out to eat a little bit more, or possibly going out to eat at a place that's a little bit, nicer and more expensive than where you typically go, because you're going with like a group of people who want to check a certain spot out. So we don't always budget for those things. So keep that in mind. Also, make sure you have a travel budget, deciding like how much you're going to be spending. Also, we tend to spend more gas and stuff just because we're doing more running around, checking out the lights, going to different holiday events and things of that nature too. So you want to make sure that it's factored into your travel budget. The other thing I want to mention is decorations. So if you decorate for the holidays, you want to make sure your decorations are in good condition. If they are not, you might have to end up spending money on new decorations, or you might just want to update your decorations. So have you created a budget for your decorations? I already mentioned this, holiday parties. I talked about holiday parties in terms of food, but also consider the holiday parties in terms of attire, as well as going back to gifts. Like, are you going to need to bring a gift? Are they doing like an elephant gift exchange? Is it a real, nice, fancy holiday party you're going to, so you got to get a new outfit or something like that? So just take all of that into consideration when it comes to holiday parties. The other thing is you need to set a budget for is donations. So this is the time of the year where different organizations are reaching out to you, wanting you to contribute and donate to their cause, which is great, and we always want to help people out and everything, but set a budget for what you plan on giving this holiday season. And the last thing I have is convenience spending. And what I mean by that is going back to kind of like the food and stuff like that. What are you spending money on just because it's a convenience? Maybe it's ordering out food or whatever, like as you're running around, maybe getting like stopping at fast food place to get something, or ordering in food because you've been running around doing all kinds of stuff. Now you don't have time to cook, so you're ordering in food to be able to eat. Same thing with like groceries and stuff like that. If you're used to doing your own grocery shopping and now you're like, oh, I'm gonna have grocery delivery, those little fees and stuff like that, make sure you factor that into your convenience fees. Or you might be saying, hey, we're having a holiday party and I want to get the house cleaned and stuff like that, or have someone come in and clean the carpet or whatever. So those are the little convenience fees that you don't think about that you might have to take into consideration when it comes to creating a budget. All right, so that was the first thing I want you to be aware of to keep you from overspending this holiday season. The second thing that I'm going to recommend is to plan ahead as much as possible. Like if you don't know what your holiday plans are, go ahead and start trying to determine what that is going to look like. And that's also in terms of who you're going to be buying gifts for, what you're getting them as a gift, so you'll know kind of like where you want to go shop, so you can start looking for some deals. When you plan ahead, you're less anxious, you are less impulsive to just randomly get stuff, and it becomes less stressful too, okay? And that keeps us from not only spending recklessly, like spending money on like gifts for people, but also, eating recklessly. So sometimes when we're stressed out, we start eating bad stuff that we really don't need to eat and everything like that, and it just becomes a spiral because we're stressed out about the holiday seasons. Like the holidays are supposed to be a fun time. Now, I know it's supposed to be a fun time. Sometimes it can be a very stressful time. Sometimes it can be a very difficult time for people as well, but you don't want to heighten your stress just because you did not plan ahead or plan accordingly, okay? The third thing that I'm going to recommend so you don't spend recklessly this holiday season is to open up an account just for the holidays. It's pretty easy to open up a checking account if you already have like a checking or a savings account with a local bank. Oftentimes they will allow you to open up a checking account. Maybe you have to keep like a certain minimum, like maybe a few hundred dollars in there, but that is a good way for you to keep track of all of your holiday spending. So if you did have a budget where you said, hey, I'm only spending $500 on, Christmas gifts this year, or whatever your holiday budget is, you can go in, open up an account, put that $500 in there, have a debit card associated with that particular checking account. When you spend that money and it's gone, and you don't have to worry. I won't say you don't have to worry, but I've used up my allocated budget for my holiday spending. It's also a good way to keep track of all your purchases, especially if you need to make any returns. You'll know, hey, everything that I bought for the holiday season was purchased on this particular card, instead of trying to figure out what cards did I charge it to when you have to go make a return, as well as keeping track of the purchases you made, because you'll know that all your holiday purchases are designated for this particular card. And that can also help you to avoid like scams or fraud or anybody trying to like hack into your account. God forbid, I don't want that to happen, but scams and stuff like that do increase around the holiday season. Now, I don't recommend using a credit card unless it's like a prepaid or secured credit card, because sometimes we be getting a little reckless with the credit card. So I recommend a debit card. Preferably, I really recommend you having cash, but I know everybody is not going to walk around with cash. And also, if you do use cash, you need to be making sure you're writing down those transactions to keep up with it. Cash is also a good way for like when it's gone, like you don't have any more money to spend, but you're not always keeping track of those transactions, whether that's keeping track of all the receipts in a particular envelope where the cash was, or writing down what you spent and who you spent it on. Usually with a debit card, you're going to be able to easily see and track your transactions and stuff like that. So I prefer cash, but with cash, you do have to go a little step further. Keep up with your receipts, or at least write down what you spent the money on, okay? But open up an account just for the holidays. And if you feel like it's too late, like I can't, save up money now, go ahead and open up an account for the next holiday season, so you'll already be ahead of the game, okay? All right, so we've gone through 3, y'all, and I told y'all I have 15, y'all. We're going to see. I might have to, I'm going to try and quickly go through these and not talk so much. All right. Now, the 4th thing I have, and it might be a little controversial, but I'm putting it on there because it happens, all right? I'm going to say treat yourself, okay? Treat yourself in moderation. Because as we're doing this holiday shopping for other people, of course, we tend to stumble upon things that we ourselves want to indulge in and stuff like that. And also the holiday times, it's just a time of spending where people are doing more impulsive spending. Now, like I said, I'm not promoting impulsive spending, but chances are it's going to happen. So, or it's going to happen where you're going to want to buy something. So since you already kind of know, it's probably going to happen where I'm going to get something that's not on my list. Kind of go ahead and plan for it and put that in your budget. Like, say I'm going to set aside, $25, $50 for, in the event I see something that I myself would like, I'm going to go ahead and buy it. Or you can say, hey, it's the holidays. They have, different snacks, different drinks out. Once a week, I am going to treat myself to this particular drink or beverage or this particular snack, and I set a budget of this amount of money that I'm going to spend this week, or if you do it every other week or something like that, or whatever. But treat yourself in moderation, because you're going to want to buy something for yourself, but it's just about planning for it and allocating the money for it. Or if you're very disciplined, just not treating yourself. But if you're going to do that, make sure you set a budget and then set a time frame. Like I said, I'm going to do this once a week, not every day. I'm going to do it once a week, or I'm going to do it every other week. Or I have this holiday party coming up, so I am going to splurge and get, a facial or something like that done, so I can look, just fire at the holiday party. Or I'm going to splurge and get this new outfit for the holiday party, but set a budget for when it comes to that kind of stuff, okay? All right. The 5th thing that I have to help prevent you from overspending this holiday season is to determine what your travel plans are ASAP, okay? And what I mean by that is, like, are you staying in? Are you going out? Are you going to be visiting relatives? That kind of thing. So you can plan accordingly, so you'll know, hey, if I go see Aunt Susie, what day are we going? Are we going to be staying overnight? Are we going to be traveling back? So you can start looking at hotel, what it's going to cost for gas, or if you have to fly or something like that. Start planning now. Don't just be on a whim and say, hey, I'm going to go see it. Even though, sometimes that happens, but plan ahead. And I say that because sometimes we get lonely during the holiday seasons, or we start missing certain people, and then you're like, oh, I really wish I could go see them, or I'm going to go ahead and go see them. Start thinking about the people that you would like to see before the year is out right now, and see if you can possibly make it happen for you to go see them, instead of you deciding at the very last minute that you are going to go see this particular relative or this particular friend. Or also too, seeing if they possibly could come see you. So planning something for that. So maybe you can have like a little family dinner or a get together or something like that. And if so, looking at what the cost of that is going to be. So decide your travel plans now. Like, are you keeping it local, or are you going out of town? But don't wait till the last minute when you done got all in your feelings and started missing people, and you start doing stuff at the last minute where it could possibly be more expensive and you're spending more money doing so. The next thing I have to help you from overspending is to give of your time or service. By that I mean, instead of giving someone a gift, see what you can give in terms of your time or a certain skill that you have. Like, maybe you can say to your family or a friend, like, once a month, you don't have to worry about dinner because you have like a big get together at your house where you're cooking dinner for your family or for your friends. Or if your friends or family have like young children, you can offer your babysitting services. Like I'll offer to watch the kids so y'all can have a date night or something like that. And you can create these little gift giving coupons or services that you can offer to people as well that don't require you to spend any money. It just requires you to spend time. And I say that to say, just get creative and see what you can come up with in terms of giving and for this holiday season, instead of having to purchase a gift that you give. And it could even be like making homemade cookies or cakes or something like that that you give out to people, and that could be your gift. And it could be possibly be less expensive than you trying to buy for all these different people, or creating a craft or something like that. All right, number 7, because we are only halfway through, is to check prices early to see the estimated cost. So what I mean is, if you have decided, hey, I want to get so-and-so this particular gift, start looking around to see how much does this gift cost. Like, are there different versions of it, or like there's always various versions. There's the name brand version, and then there's the generic brand. So start looking around, excuse me, to see what is it going to cost, like, and is there a difference between like name brand and generic, which it probably is, and see which one best fits your budget and still is a good buy. Or seeing what the prices are, excuse me, at different stores and things of that nature. Which leads me to the next tip, number 8, which says price check or price match. So be sure, if you are buying stuff for someone, you are checking the prices in neighboring stores and see if the store is willing to price match. So go ahead and look into like their price matching policy. I do this all the time. Also check their price online. Oftentimes the online price is cheaper than the in-store price. And if you bring that to the store's attention, they'll often match the online price compared to the store price. And that's like within the store or whatever. So you can be in a particular store and go online and see what the price of the product is, and they will match the online price. So just be mindful of that, and other stores will match the price of neighboring stores or whatever if it's the same product. So check out if your store offers price matching. See what their price matching policy is, as well as doing price checks to see what is the price at different stores. But that will help you, it could possibly help you cut down on time, because if you go to one store and know that they have a good price matching policy, you can get all your stuff from this one store, especially if it's a store that's not as, I won't say popular, but there are certain stores that everybody go to or everybody's looking for a deal. So maybe you can go to a store that is not going to be as heavily frequented, but they have a good price match policy, and you can just load up on all your stuff there versus at the other store where there's a lot of people going. They probably going to be sold out or whatever, or they sell out quickly, and you're going to be competing with more people to get the different items and stuff like that. Number 9 is, I mentioned this earlier when I talked about giving up your time or giving up your service, is making holiday treats or making holiday crafts as gifts. So that's cookies or whatever you're good at, whatever skill you're good at. Look into that. But the caveat with that is you want to factor in shipping. So even though it might not cost you a whole lot of money to like bake some cookies or bake some cakes or create this particular craft, how are you going to get the gift to someone? So if it's not someone who lives around you or that you can easily take it to, you're going to have to ship it to them. So you don't want to make this big elaborate gift and you got to ship it somewhere, and the shipping costs, twice as much as what it costs you to even make the gift. Okay, so just take that into consideration when you are doing crafts. What is the shipping cost? Or if you have to take it to someone, what is the gas cost, especially if they are not really close or live nearby. You want to just factor all of that into your gift giving, and so you're not overspending. All right, the next tip I have is, if you know that you're going to get somebody a specific thing, consider, we talked about generic and the name brand, but the other thing you might want to look into is getting last year's edition or the last year's model or something or whatever. And that could be with anything, especially when it comes to like electronics. Like usually if something new is about to come out, the last year's one is going to be discounted or lower. Okay. All right. Excuse me, y'all. And I'm seeing how I'm looking on time because I'm trying to keep this under 30 minutes. All right. So the 11th tip that I have, and I use this all the time when I'm shopping on a regular basis, is to set a time limit for how long you'll be in the store. Like I'll set a timer like, okay, I'm only going to be in the store 20 minutes. And especially when I'm just like in the store, kind of like browsing, you know, I'm just trying to check out the new stuff that they have or whatever, not really looking for anything in particular. I'll say, okay, I'm only going to spend 15 minutes in here, 20 minutes in here. And when my timer goes off, that means you need to leave, okay? And if I found something, it's like I need to go to the register and purchase what I have and not keep browsing around trying to get anything more. And I say that because the stores, y'all, what I always tell y'all, marketing is what sells. So the store has marketing strategies designed for you to spend money. So the way the store is set up, the layout, the lighting, the music that's playing, all of that stuff is designed to get you in a spending mood. Even the product placement, like where they're positioning stuff on the aisles, on the shelves, that kind of stuff, all of that is designed to help you spend money, okay? So key in on that. But set a time limit for how long you're going to be in the store. Stick to that time limit, and when your timer goes off, get your tail out the store so you're not overspending or getting all caught up in all the feels of the holiday shopping, okay? Next up is number 12. This is if you do online shopping, and I use this too. I just did this the other day. When you do online shopping, don't immediately purchase the stuff that you put in your shopping cart. Like maybe take a break, and by a break, it could be like, hey, go get you something to eat, go watch TV for like an hour or something like that. Just do something for like at least an hour or two, at least a couple of hours. It's better if you can do it for like at least 24 hours or whatever, and then come back to that shopping cart and see, do I still want all the stuff that I put in here? And that way you're not being impulsive with your spending. So take that into consideration too when you're online shopping, because sometimes we get all caught up in like, yep, I want that, I want that, I want that. And it's so easy because it's just a click of the button to put it in your cart. But take a little break after you've loaded up your cart and then come back to the cart and see, do I still want these items, okay? Now, the next one, number 13, is to block social media ads. So there are ways for you to be able to block some of the ads that you see on social media, because they are going to be hitting us hard and heavy coming up this holiday season. And the longer you look at them, the more they're going to start sending you the same things, okay? So utilize that block. Like, I do not want to see any more ads from this particular person or whatever, especially if it's enticing you to spend. And you may even want to take a social media break as well around this holiday season. I know that can be a little tough. You can't take a social media break. At least limit your social media time. Like, set a timer for that. Like, I'm only going to be on social media for 30 minutes or something like that, so that you don't get caught up in all these ads that are going to be targeting you, and they're listening to us on our phones. So just be mindful of that. Block any ads that you don't want to see or that are just enticing you to spend extra money. The next thing, number 14, that I have is to keep you from overspending is to go ahead and set your financial goals for 2025. Nothing will reel yourself in a little more than realizing I got trips planned for 2025 that I need to be saving for. I got stuff that I need to purchase for 2025. I'm about to like do some redecorating, remodeling or whatever. You know, I got these bills coming up, or this is going to be due in 2025. I got to get, you know, a new car, a new refrigerator, something like that. Set your financial goals for 2025 so you can start realizing, like, I can't be spending money on this because I'm trying to get that next year, okay? So go ahead, set your 2025 financial goals to help keep you on track, keep you on track and keep you from overspending this holiday season. That was number 14. The number 15, the last one, and then I do have a little small bonus. Number 15 is please, 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 y'all, don't wait to the last minute, yo, when it comes to like holiday shopping or doing stuff for the holidays, period. Because one, when we wait to the last minute, it becomes very, very, very stressful for us. Two, you start, especially if you're shopping for gifts, you start just like grabbing random stuff, grabbing stuff you don't even know if the person needs it. Overspending. Also, because you waited to the last minute, the stores might not have some of the stuff that you're looking for, and now you're buying something that's a little bit more expensive than what you wanted to typically spend, all because you don't have a gift for that person, and you know, I promised them this, or I said I was gonna get this, or I really want to get them this thing, and because you didn't shop ahead, now you're kind of like, I won't say getting the leftovers, but you're having to spend extra money on stuff because everybody else has snatched up the deals. Okay, so don't wait to the last minute, because you'll start spending more, buying random stuff and things of that nature, and then it just becomes more stressful because you're like, it's like Christmas is tomorrow and I have nothing I have nothing to give to my friends and family. So plan ahead as much as possible, shop ahead as much as possible. So my last and final tip that I have, that is the bonus, is just remember what's most important. Okay, and what I mean by that is that your presence is your present. Okay, so your presence is a gift. So the fact that you have these people in your lives, the fact that you can spend time with your loved ones and your friends and stuff like that, make it an enjoyable time. Allow them to enjoy your presence and that kind of thing, instead of them enjoying the gifts that you're bringing. Okay, so just bring your best self to the family functions, the gatherings, and things of that nature, and have a good time this holiday season. So I hope this has been helpful. Let me know in the comments, though, how are you planning to avoid overspending? Let me know if some of the things I mentioned you're going to be doing. Was there something that I didn't mention that you like, girl, I got to do this to help me not overspending? I would love to hear from you. And if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. And please like and share. All right. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your week. Until then, be sure to tune in to Side Hustle Saturday this coming Saturday. All right. Take care, guys.